everybody. Welcome back for our next couple of few steps of making our button doll. And on the last video, I have no clue why that video uploaded 3 of everything. I don't understand that. But anyway, so if you just watch like the first hour, you'll have everything, and then click off of it if you haven't already watched it. So we'll see how we do on this one. We are doing a dress, and of course I had said that I wanted to use this fabric here, and I think this is only about what's wrong way? It's about 2.5 inches long, wide should I say, and this is, let's see, this is, there's 12, $12, 13, 14, whoops, 12. I'm going to sneeze. Oh my, that's 12, be 13. Oh my, excuse me. I'll tell you why I'm sneezing here in that. So 12, 13, 14, 15, about 16 inches long. So, okay, so we had a huge, nasty storm here now about an hour ago, and I was sitting in here, and all of a sudden this wind came up, and stuff started hitting, limbs started hitting the roof right above me. The wind was so bad with this rain, I couldn't even see out the window. Stuff was hitting the side of the house here, and there's a window. I don't know how this limb did not come through this window. I don't know. But I took off hauling downstairs, and thank God for the basement. And I opened up the back door, and I was totally shocked at the limbs, and the just limbs that are down in the backyard. Just looks like a hurricane came through there, and just limbs everywhere. And the thing is, they're all from them stupid cottonwood trees. There isn't a limb that I could see off of the maple tree in the back or anything, just the cottonwood trees. Anyway, you can't even get out our driveway. There are huge limbs down and across the drive, and there's trees down the main road that you use to come up into our neighborhood. It's blocked at both ends, and we have no power. So how am I doing this video? By the luck of the draw. It's called Battery, and I don't know how long it's going to last because it looks like it might stop. So anyway, what we're going to do here is we are going to hand, you can either hand, I can't use my sewing machine. You can hand stitch this, just doing a straight, basting stitch, or you can run it on your sewing machine on a large stitch, and then take one of the threads and pull it. I cannot show you that because I don't have any power. So you do the next best thing, and that is by hand stitching. And then once you get it gathered to where it fits all the way around the doll, then you can glue the back of it if you want to kind of make sure those stitches stay where they're supposed to stay. That is, if you don't have a sewing machine, you just kind of want to secure that. So I am going to do that, and I'm going to baste this, And let's see, the first thing that I can do since we're here is, Posie's not bringing me anything. I don't even know how I got up here. Probably the way I thought. But anyway, we are going to glue the head on here. Just make sure it's, you know, what I ended up doing with this was kind of smashing it down a little bit so it's a little flat. That's why I like that styrofoam ball. You could just get it to do anything you want. And just make sure that it's nice and straight. Okay? So let's go ahead, and I just love those glue, or those spools to hold this glue up. So those of you that may not know, I have two spools for my next doll, and I just stick that in there, and look, it just stays. See? Which means I will probably go over to my, because that's nice to kind of have like right here, because just a little bit over there, I have stuff. I have bottles that are turned upside down in my Lazy Susan, but this is nice just to have right here. So I'm going to look at this, try to figure out where I want the face, which is probably going to be here. I can see just a little bit of a flat edge here, and I don't want that being the face. So I think I'm going to use this as the front. So we're just going to stick that on there, press it down for a couple of minutes. But you would never, I mean, the sun's out, there's hardly any clouds in the sky. And by the way, this is all from that tropical storm. So that was, I didn't think we were getting anything yesterday, and we just got very little, and you know what broke loose today. So, okay, so we have her head on. Yep, she's coming together. So let's, I'm watching my battery. And I am going to pick, oh, that's awful long, I don't need that. I actually use a little bit thicker thread if you don't have like an upholstery thread, which is what this is. You will want to double up your cotton thread. But I usually, when I'm doing things with, I want a long needle. There you are. I don't know, I guess this is, I think I'm not going to mess with that right now. What was I saying? I have no clue. I'm really sitting here waiting on my husband to come home so I can go out and help clean up this war zone out here. Okay. And I'm not going to knot this because I want to be able to pull it from both ends. So I start here at the top, on top, and maybe bring it down 1/8 of an inch from the edge. And I also, gosh, I wish I had my power, because I'm actually thinking I need to add my trim on here before I go ahead and gather this. So let me go grab that because I don't have it right here with me. And I have also, when you are doing the hair, as I said before, you can you can use like this yarn that I got from Coco. She actually sells this. If you are interested, I will put her link down below if it's not already down there. But I think I'm going to use this. I hope it's going to be okay. I mean, it's kind of a, I don't know, blondie color hair. I haven't decided if I want to use this. You can use that off-white kind of taupe colored moss. It's real dry. You can pull it off and put it in there and glue it to the head. You can make it as short or as, you know, as long as you want it by, you know, and then you can trim it. We're going to use this. I used this, as I said, crochet yarn, and I just started layering it as I did this. So what I did was I cut. I guess I could do this for you, but I actually started out, and if you think you want to, you know, do braids, you're going to have to make this kind of long, because as we well know, when you braid, things get shorter. But I just went back and forth several times with this, and I laid them side by, I can't remember how many I did, which it doesn't really make. I did a whole bunch of these. As you can tell, her hair's pretty thick on that one. And this stuff's pretty inexpensive, and it doesn't cost that much. And I think I got it at Walmart. I got it during that COVID thing, so I know I got it at Walmart. Heck, that's the only place we could shop. And when you cut this, you want to make sure that, like this would be the bottom or the top. When you do this, all I did was start down here so far and just let it hang down, and I went all the way around on that, you know, on that side, and then I came back again and went over the top of that, and then went all the way, not all the way around, you don't go around the front, and you keep doing that until you get clear up here to the top. So, but you want that to lay flat as you do this. Now, if you're using a yarn, you're going to do less. And the only thing about doing the yarn is it gets thick really quick. And I haven't yet decided, when you're using a yarn, see how this sprays out at the end? I really don't want it to do that. So what I actually was thinking about doing is putting some glue at the bottom where it's not frayed, and just glue that in place so it doesn't fray. I don't want it to fray, because this is what you're going to get. So I don't want that. And the other thing is, it's going to get super thick pretty quick, but then you're going to steam, I don't know. So, well, I'll have to decide which one I want to do. So, anyway, where's my battery? It's getting down there. I don't know why. It's so anyway, that and two, let me tell you, when you do this, I'm gonna go ahead and cut both ends because that's what I did the last time. This end is pretty straight. Make sure they're laying flat and next to each other as you're doing this. And I'll tell you, I was just playing around this night that I did this, and I just kind of laid glue on there and set it over off to the side. I didn't actually glue it on all at the same time. I mean, I let the glue dry, and then I laid it on the head. So anyway, so if I were to do that right now, you don't really need a whole lot of glue, because it will. So just make sure, you know, like I've only got just that much. Where am I at? Right here. So it's only about a ½ inch. Just make sure you're holding on to it really super tight, or it's going to slip. They're going to slip out of your hand. And then just kind of lay it somewhere so it'll dry a little bit. So you're just going to do like a whole lot of those, and it doesn't make any difference. That's probably, what, ½ inch, ¼ inch, something like that. But there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's about 12 strands there. Doesn't make any difference how long. If you want short hair, do short hair. If you want it to be long, then go ahead and cut a whole bunch of long ones. And I am going to stop the video for now, and I'm going to go get my trim, and maybe we'll come back and we'll put it on, and then we'll go to part 2 for the hair, for the gathering. Who knows what's next? I'll be back in a minute. Hi everyone, it's Kateri again. We are going to work on our button doll, and sorry I didn't get back with you the next day or whatever, but it gave you enough time to, you know, get going on what you were doing for the other parts. And why that video uploaded 3 of those at one time, I have no clue. I don't know if there was a glitch in YouTube or what the deal was, but the program I used, it was only in there once. So yeah, you only had to watch an hour of it. But anyway, we are going to work on the little dress, and as you can see, I already glued. I ended up having to glue my bottom part on because I had no electricity that day I was doing it. So I want to show you how I did it. I took this right here, this piece, and I am going to scan up here a little bit so you can see. Anyway, this has got a nice ribbon area up here, but I ended up covering that up because I wanted more than what this was giving me, but I wanted this. So I took this little ribbon that is half the width, and I glued it, which I would have preferred to have sewn it on there, right over that ribbon area, but still left the little ridge part up here at the top. And then, after I did that, then I laid this cute little piece on there over the ridge, or the raw edge of that. This actually is stretchy, and so I laid this over the top of the elastic. Whoops. So it looks like that. And then, as you can see, I had this and cut them, several of them apart, and I glued them on top of that. And you can see that one actually has a little bit of sparkle in it. But I thought they matched so well with the flowers that were in the fabric. So yeah, I thought that turned out really cute. And so anyway, yeah, looks really cute. So anyway, now what we're doing is we are doing a basting stitch, and I've already got some of it done. And I normally would do this on the sewing machine, but since I've already, you just do a large, stitch on your sewing machine across here. But I'm just doing this back and forth, back and forth. And I want to make sure that I end up on top of the fabric when I'm doing that. You see that? That way it will lay correctly. So then I actually did not, or I did knot this down here at the bottom. So all I will do, and I left enough because I want to be able to have string to tie onto, but all you're going to do is just gather that up. Look how that gathers. Looks like a cake. Look at that. Now I just need a little crinoline underneath of it. Oh my goodness. So that oh my gosh, that's cute. And that's because of the glue. That's kind of cute. Anyway, I started putting hair on her, and fiber for her hair. But we are going, which I normally don't do, but I was tossing back and forth what I wanted to do with her hair, and I just went ahead and was playing around with that. So that's what she's got. So we are going to put this around, and oh, that's not, oh well. And like I said, I did this with upholstery thread, and in the first video, towards the end, I think I told you the measurements of this. I honestly can't tell you. I think it was 18, but I don't remember offhand. I'd have to look back at that video. Guess I should have. So I'm just tying a really good knot here. Several knots. And then I will cut this a little bit. And you should be able to maneuver your little pleats around. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, guess what? And this is what you call a total mess up. Yeah, she has no arms. They're all underneath her dress. So you know what that means. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh well. So because I cut that off, we're going to start all over. So you definitely want to make sure that you have her arms up over the top of her before you do this. Okay. And I just use a really long needle. Make sure you start on the top and end on the top. And yeah, I could have sewn this, and it would have been a whole lot quicker, but hey. Some people don't have a sewing machine. So, what can I tell you while I'm doing this? Maybe I turn my light on. I might be able to see a tad bit better. So, along with, I was talking to our worship minister last night and was telling him all this stuff that's happened, and since I've gotten home and had to have some dental stuff done, and my husband had to have it. The water bed got a leak in it, so we threw it out and went and bought a new mattress and all of that stuff that goes with it. And, the dryer broke, and he had to order a piece for that. And my husband was cutting grass last Sunday, and he told me there was a fish out in the front yard. And I said, what? We live a mile from the river. The only thing I could figure out is a bird dropped it. And anyway, it evidently had been there for a while because my husband accidentally drove over it. I was going to go out and take a picture of it, but yeah, it smelled so bad. Well, then my 16-year-old dog decided that he was going to go out there and get it. And which I haven't been letting him out there because his intestines just can't take a whole lot right at his age. So so he got sick and he started not throwing up, but he had diarrhea. So I've been dealing with that for a couple of days. And yeah, it's just been ridiculous. And, I guess just look at the brighter side and just laugh about it, Alright, so that didn't take very long. So let's stick that girl's arms up here. And let's try this again. Alrighty. The arms help hold this up too. This is why you really don't want to put the hair on before you put this on. Alright. And all I'm going to do is just tie my knots in here. Good thing I didn't put any more on. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to get this glue. And you want to make sure you have this in the back. And I'm just going to glue that up on here as high up as it will go. And I'll do the same in the front. Just want it so it just stops moving around. Okay, so we're going to let that dry, and then I'll glue more. Well, nah, maybe I'll go ahead and do it now. That way it'll fall. I got a string, a wild string from the fabric. Pull that out of there. Okay, get out of there before you get glued in there. Alright, so, God, that ought to really look cute when it's sitting, because it'll be full. You can still see her lips and legs, and her cute little arms. Oh my God, she's so cute, you guys. Anyway, she's cute. They look so cute up on a shelf, or, oh my gosh, she's darling. I love the colors. So, now what I'm going to do, since that's drying for now, you are going to, oh, I need to turn this back upside down. I think we'll start the hair. So if you want to pause this right now, go ahead and do your fabric and put your little, skirt, slip, whatever you lace it you want at the bottom, and baste it at the top, tie it in the back, and then come back when you're done, and we'll go ahead and get the hair started. Alright, so now what I did was I just started gluing this string, or yarn, or fibers, whatever you want to call it. I thought I did. It's right here. Okay, so before you cut whatever, if you get this from Coco, what you need to do with this, wow, I don't remember this doing this, but darn. Anyway, what I did was I made the pieces. I'm going to back out here just a little bit. I made the pieces long, and then they just went over. But before I actually cut the yarn, which I haven't done it on this part because I had just done that many, this one is done at the bottom. So as I do that, I will cut the bottom of this so you see just that little tip. All of these are done that way except for this one, or that end, should I say. I didn't do that end. So you're going to make it, you know, so long. And before you do this, you're going to want to put some glue say right here. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. You just want to stop those fibers from going crazy. And then once that's dried, then you can cut where that glue is. Cut it in the middle of that glue. That way one end is done, and all you have to do is, you know, the next end, which, no, that's not done. So this was my glue area right here. So if I were to bring that down and this here, then my next glue area is going to be right here. My husband is still picking up crud from the storm that we had. Okay, so on that piece I still have I have 2 pieces of hair. So let me go ahead and get all the rest of these glued where I need them, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're getting ready for the hair, and I have all of my pieces. Hopefully I have too many, but I have them all cut and glued, and then I cut them to the length that I need. And I am just going to lay them on top and lightly glue them. And I'm going to lay these in between the ones that I already have. So I am going to go back up, and I think we'll see. It all depends on what I'm doing, what I think I'm going to do. So there's just a little bit of glue, and I just want to kind of pull that down. Hold it for just a minute so it kind of grabs hold. Now, I like this thicker glue for this kind of stuff. If you're gluing with regular Aleene's glue, you will probably, it probably is not going to hold as quick. And like I said, I'm gluing in between the first row that I did, because I can kind of see through it. You're not going to see this, the top of the head, because you're going to have a hat, unless you decide not to put a hat on. Then you're going to have to be super careful how you glue this, because you do not want to make it sloppy. but I'm putting a hat on her, so I will. I'm still one of those perfectionist people anyway. Alright. At least I try to be. And once I get the top glued on and everything, I'll see. I'll probably end up gluing it down just a little bit farther. You want to make sure your yarn is in half when you put it up here. It's going on pretty good. See, like, there's this piece here. I know it needs to be glued down. It's going to come up. But your hat will also hold it on. Look, she's getting some hair, you guys. It's looking pretty cute. I guess if I got in the frame a little bit. So I'm just going to lay her down and we're going to glue it like this. Like this. I've got to figure out how I'm going to, I think I know how I'm going to do the back here. So what I'm going to do now is, I don't know if you can hear that, it's a lawnmower. I am going, well, that makes it really long. That's okay. So, alright. So I folded it in half, and I'm going to just lay it on here. Because you don't want to keep putting your hair so, because it'll never lay right if you keep doing what I was doing. So we want it to lay flat in the back. Hat should come, should. So what I'm wondering is if I want to put that over the top, I might, just to make, stay there, oh my god. Ugh. I just wanted to hide the where I folded it. Okay, so that needs to dry, and of course what I just put on there is, that was weird, is going to have to dry before I can really mess with this hair. Oh, how did that happen? And make your hair longer than what you think you're going to need. And because you may decide to do something with your hair. Let's see, there's two. There's another one. So say, for instance, you decide you want to braid part of it. I really shouldn't be doing this with it being wet. But I want to see what it looks like, because this keeps running back and forth into my head. Braid the hair, braid the hair. But because of this yarn, I think I'm going to have to wait, and I'm going to have to twist it so it looks like maybe one piece, because right now it doesn't. Anyway, when you braid, it gets shorter, and you don't want to cut anything off until you have it tied off. And this is only this yarn, fiber, whatever you want to call it. So I think I'll just leave it like this, and I'll wait until it dries, because right now I don't like this braid. It kind of looks like one of those that fold in. That's what it looks like. But I think I'll wait until this dries, and that way I can really start pulling on it, and it'll be dried. And I think what I'm thinking is leaving some of it hang down, because I want it to cover up the back of the dress. There is a raw edge back here, but I don't want to use it all. So let's wait until this is dry, and we'll come back. So that's your next step, is to figure out what kind of hair you're going to use. If you're going to use that, or if you want to do the crochet thread. The crochet thread actually will go on in pieces like this, where you lay them down and you glue them, and then you're going to go, we'll just say you are going to glue down at the base of the ball as far around as you want it to go, and you're just going to lay them side by side. Here. That's not really helping you out. And I can't use the ball because we'll just use this. So if this was a ball, dang it. If this is a ball, you're going to start down low, and you make them in grouping. You know, I can't remember how many did I say. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's about 12 strands here. And you just glue them side by side all the way around. Then your second row, you're going to glue up a little, over the top, but up farther, and you'll glue those all the way around. And as you get up to the top of the ball, you'll see that it's, it'll get to the point where you're going to have to think about bangs, or how you're going to, finish it off. I can't show you on her, but she actually has some bangs up in here. And you can only see them when you're really looking at her. You can kind of see them there. So I wish I'd have made them just a tad bit longer than I did, but the hat came down over the top a little bit. So a little more than I wanted, but it's okay. Or you can just keep building and building until you end up with make a part or something like that. So anyway, that's your next step, is to go ahead and work with your hair. All right, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.